Hello, this is Virgil Labrador, Editor-in-Chief of Satellite Markets and Research, and we're here in CommunicAsia 2004 in Singapore with Markus Fritz. He's the Director of Commercial Development and Marketing for Eutelsat. It's a global satellite operator based in Paris and has a presence here in Asia, and here to talk about commercial strategy and the prospects in the Asian market is Markus. So Markus, welcome to this videocast.
Yeah, hello, welcome.
Well, Markus, you're in charge of commercial strategy, right, globally. How do you see the Asian market as part of your overall strategy? Like, how many satellites do you have devoted out of all the satellites that you have to the Asian region?
Yeah, currently we have a global fleet of 37 satellites, and 2 of them are already devoted to the Asian region.
Right.
We have a satellite Eutelsat 172,
Right.
and we have Eutelsat at 70 degrees,
Right.
E70B we call it internally.
Right.
For example, I just come now from a speaker slot about Ultra HD, so 4K television. As the latest news, we launched an Ultra HD demo channel with a playout right here from Singapore. So it's live, it's free to air,
Right.
it's available everywhere in the region, and that shows also, let's say, our strong belief in the future growth of the region. We work together with ST Teleport for that,
Right.
but we're open to other partners as well.
Yeah, you just announced that here at the show, right?
Yes.
This strategic partnership with ST Teleport. So
Correct.
they will be your ground systems for
Yeah,
Ultra HD?
they are one of our ground system providers.
Right.
We also work with other ground system providers, but ST, for the partnership, we felt that because of their capabilities for video and data, and to start, because we launched the satellite last year, so and in order to start in the region, Singapore is a very good hub. That's also why we have our offices here,
Right.
and let's say increased Singapore team.
Right.
We're also doing local business development and account management. We also
Right.
have a local sales engineer for customer support. So the overall strategy of Eutelsat is also being global, being much closer to the customers in the market,
Right.
and being actually available 24/7, also through a kind of backup system, not only with regards to satellites, but also with regards to, let's say, link budgets or whatever.
Right. Now this channel that you just, UHD channel that you just launched and are demoing here at the
Right.
show, this is a 24-hour channel?
Yeah, it's a 24-hour channel, but of course for the time being it's looped. So we've got quite a number of good content pieces through cooperation with public broadcasters, private broadcasters, own productions. But what we're actually looking for, and see that as an official invitation, we're looking also for Asian broadcasters, because bringing European content to Asia is nice, but having native Asian content on an Asian demo channel, I think, is much nicer. And we see the demo channel as a kind of springboard for our partners today, for our future partners, to test the signal strengths, to test the end-to-end service delivery,
Right.
and also to test maybe the market reaction on 4K for the region.
So how do you see UHD going forward? How many years do you think before you get critical mass here in Asia?
Yeah, well, what defines critical mass? I think you need to have relevant content, not only in terms of quality, but also in terms of, let's say, real content. For sure, big events, big sports events and others will drive the diffusion. What we have to do as an industry together is, let's say, agree on the final broadcast standards.
Right.
Currently, we broadcast the channel in 50 hertz, HEVC encoded. That seems to be the, let's say, Gen 1 4K standard that is accepted, and where most of the partners currently working towards to. We need to agree on a kind of common label, ideally for the set-top boxes and for the TV screens, together with the consumer electronic industry. So that's in preparation, but not yet done. But still, I would say the standards are already defined.
Right.
So everybody has an interest to create a mass market. What is the forecast? We feel, of course, 4K is the next generation product. So you have a lot of SD content, standard definition in the region, multi-channel growing.
Right.
You have a nice HD conversion already, what you see in Asia, with different bit rates. Some of the HD is not real HD,
Right.
so it's rather, I call it the marketing HD. So in some markets you may even see maybe Ultra HD leapfrogging HD.
Right.
Because if the HD conversion rate is not big enough,
Right.
and the set-top box deployment is not high, then maybe real Ultra HD, so 4K, is better than what is available in HD in the region. But coming back to your initial question on timelines,
Right.
we feel that We currently test it in the market, but usually will it take between 1.5 to 3 years before we see tangible channels picking it up and until it becomes a mass market.
Right. Now let's talk about what's already out there, like DTH. What are the prospects of that from your perspective?
Well, we see DTH as a growing market in Southeast Asia. You see more and more multi-channel offerings. Also, as I said earlier, the conversion from SD to HD provides additional demand for our satellite bandwidth and provides better content for the audience. The DTH market in Southeast Asia and Asia in general is quite complex. You have big markets in Asia like India and China, but they are highly regulated. Even Indonesia has specific regulation. Other markets, let's say like in Southeast Asia, are more like one country of markets. But the issue there is also you have different languages coming from Europe, and if you look at Europe, you have also, let's say, smaller markets with different languages. I think we were ideally prepared to tackle also these challenges because we know how to make that workable over satellite. And we are not the first to market, but if you look at our satellite at 70B, it's adjacent to Thaicom, which is at 78, and we have hardware equipment, and that can be deployed in the market so they can easily upgrade an existing dish. Or deploy a dish that can receive both orbital slots. And that might be an attractive value proposition for broadcasters to join a new satellite, which has, let's say, brand new equipment and has significant power levels. So we add that satellite to the current growth, and we feel there's a very good outlook on that.
Now, a few years back, you purchased a GE satellite that was for the Asia Pacific, right? And they went into like vertical markets, like aeronautical, maritime. So are you pursuing those markets?
Of course. We actively pursuing that, and we work with different customers, also especially with system integrators. You know that Eutelsat has a kind of indirect sales model primarily, so that we have teleport operators, that we have system integrators. We work with the big telcos in order to provide these services. There's projects for oil and gas. There is in-flight communication. We work with different prospects in order to capture and grow that market and to provide additional services. And of course, we're also thinking about expanding our fleet because we see a growing demand, and we try to have the right bandwidth at the right time, at the right price to answer the demand that's coming and that's will be continuing to come.
Right. So, what else can we expect from Eutelsat? What's your next satellite for this region? Or acquisition?
Of course, if I would disclose that now, that would first give, let's say, our competitors a leading edge. And in addition to that, of course, we have different investment opportunities. We see growth opportunities in the region. Yes, we're working on satellites we're planning satellites in addition to the region. We always look into acquisitions, but then also we need to see where does it make sense and what is for sale. Not everything that is for sale is attractively priced. Not everything that's for sale has the right frequencies you need. So it needs to make sense, and we always keep an open eye. But of course, you may understand that I cannot disclose internal.
But do you have a satellite planned already, or not?
We have a fully structured and fully planned deployment plan, and of course, Asia plays a significant role in that as well.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Markus. That was really informative. And for all the news and information on the global satellite industry, you always have Satellite Markets and Research at www.satellitemarkets.com.